Hi everyone, it's me. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I am a Canadian, but I've been living and working in England for the last 5 years. Now, I have lots of content on my channel about ways that being an expat has changed me, British slang that I use, British habits that I have, but I realized the other day that I have not done a video on ways that I have stubbornly stayed Canadian. So that's what we're gonna do. So today I'm going to share with you guys all the ways that England has not changed me and maybe never will. So without further ado, let's go. In my mind, I still revert everything into 12-hour time. It's instinct. So here in the UK, pretty much everything is shown in 24-hour time. So the time on the oven is defaulted to 24-hour. Any of the trains or bus schedules are 24-hour. The TV schedule, 24-hour. So that is just the way it is. It's not typically like that in North America. So I just haven't really caught on yet. So when I see the time listed somewhere and it says 1600, I just instinctively do the math in my head and think, oh, okay, it's actually 4 p.m. Now, having said that, just because most things are listed in 24-hour time here in the UK doesn't mean that Brits speak that way. Like, my friend is never gonna be like, hey, let's go out to dinner, I'll meet you there at 1800. No, they're gonna say 6 p.m. But definitely in my mind, I am always thinking in 12-hour time. I've not converted to 24-hour. I don't know if I ever will at this point. Speaking of time, I will never say quarter past or half past. I just can't. I just can't do it. So while a lot of British people will say half past or quarter past or anything like that, to me it feels like more effort to say quarter past than to just say like 6:30 or 4:25 or 3:15. So I just say the word as we typically do in North America. I have not yet converted to the British way of half past, quarter past. Fortnight. Not only is it a game that the kids play that I just don't understand, it is also a British term for 2 weeks, of which I can never bring myself to say, so I just say 2 weeks. Another way that I have stayed stubbornly Canadian is I have zero interest in learning how to drive manual. I just don't care. So here in the UK as a whole, most cars are manual transmission, which is the opposite to North America. Most cars are automatic. That's what I learned to drive. That's what I'm going to continue to drive. I have no interest in learning how to drive manual. I always get really lonely people in the comments telling me that manual is the only way to drive. That's cool. I have other hobbies, so I'm not too concerned. And a hot tip for any foreigners, because I have a Canadian driving license, I was able to switch my license straight away to a British driving license, but it is an automatic license, which means I'm not actually allowed to drive manual. If I wanted to, I would have to do all of the driving tests in the UK in a manual car to then get a license that would allow me to drive either. And I'm never gonna do that. So I'm just gonna stick with driving automatic and just accept that I'm always gonna get comments that that's not real driving. That's okay. Hey guys, I am just editing this video, but if you could subscribe, maybe leave a comment, maybe even give this video a thumbs up, it would genuinely really help me out. If you would like to see more content, please head over to my Patreon account. I leave a link for that in literally every video description. And over on Patreon, I post a full-length video every week. You're missing out on great Patreon content like this. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because my arm is really tired. Let's get back to the video. Now, even though I have lived and worked in England for over 5 years now, I'm still not a tea person. I'm so sorry. Now, I actually did a video where I taste tested some of the biggest British tea brands. And spoiler, I found one that I actually don't mind, I'll be honest. But tea is still not my go-to drink. The only time that I was really drinking tea was in the wintertime, because there's something that is quite nice when it is a really, really cold winter's day here in England and it's dark at 3:30 and you're just cold and a little bit miserable. It is quite nice to have a cup of tea that is just like a very warming, comforting situation, right? But it's still definitely not my go-to thing. But I'm kind of learning on that one. Football? No. Cricket? Definitely not. How about Coronation Street or EastEnders? No, thank you. Now, there are some wonderful British TV shows, and I'm pretty sure I've already done a video on that at some point. If you want to check it out, that'd be pretty cool. But in terms of popular British sports like football or cricket, or long-standing soap operas here in the UK, I just... no. Please, God, no. You might be asking, Alanna, you've been in England for 5 years now. What about Marmite? To which I would say, I'd rather die. Another way in which England has not changed me is I cannot comfortably say, you all right. Now, I would say in the UK as a whole, you all right is a very common, almost automatic greeting when seeing somebody or passing somebody, or somebody in a shop helps you or whatever. It's just almost like a gut reaction. You'll hear, you all right? And you're not really supposed to answer it in an honest way. It's just kind of a polite thing to do. But it sounds so dumb in my accent. I can't bring myself to say it. So maybe in the next 5 years, maybe after 10 years of living in England, I might be able to say it confidently, but right now, no. I can't say it. It sounds so dumb when I say it. Now, speaking of accents, I get a lot of comments on my YouTube videos that I've been in England for a long time now. Why don't I sound more English? First off, there's a lot of problems with that sentence. So we all know there is no such thing as an English accent. We know that the accents here across England and the UK are wildly different and very regionalized, but the easiest thing is to say English accent or British accent, even though that doesn't exist, all right? I've said my piece. Please leave me alone in the comments. So why don't I have an English accent? I honestly don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think changing your accent to a completely different one is something that maybe after a very, very long time in a new place might happen. But it's so much of who I am. Like, this is my voice. Maybe if you moved abroad as a child, it would change because you haven't been speaking that way long enough. But as an adult, I think it would be very, very difficult to suddenly start speaking with an English accent, which I only do when I've had too much cider and I'm getting a bit rowdy. Now, I will say that my voice and my speaking patterns have certainly changed since moving to England. If you happen to go back and watch some of my old videos, my voice is different. Now, I'm younger then, right? I'm an old lady now, so there's an age difference, but there's definitely an English influence as well in the way that I speak. The tempo, the cadence, the word choice has changed, certainly, but I don't have an English accent, and I probably never will. Another way that England hasn't changed me is I will never say whilst. Just saying it now feels very difficult. Now, here in England, depending on who you speak with, you might hear whilst. Whilst. It always feels very posh, very proper, and I can't say it because it feels very strange. I don't know why that particular word. I just can't do it. And finally, a way that England will never change me. Trousers are pants and pants are underwear. I will not be elaborating. So those are some ways that living in England over the last 5 years has not changed me. I've changed a lot, and I've got loads of videos on all that kind of business. But there are certainly ways that I have stayed stubbornly Canadian. Did you guys notice my flag? And I'm pretty interested in seeing how I will continue to change over the next few years, whether that's in England, whether that's in Canada, whether that's in a new country, who knows? But it is kind of crazy how being around other types of people influence you as a person and changes you as who you are, but only in some ways. Anywho, thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I just thank you guys for all your support. Honestly, truly, it's really just, it's a cool little community we have here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye! I think I'm going to get myself a double-double and maybe have some poutine and maybe go sit and watch the hockey. Just kidding, I don't like any of those things. I'm a bad Canadian. Ooh, I'm sorry.